This is the Moneymakers. I'm Bruce Whitfield from the Sandton Convention Centre, where the big LeaderEX exhibition has been happening. It's all been about entrepreneurship, it's all been about startups, it's all about getting South Africa working better. If government's not going to do it for you, is the theory, well then maybe you need to do it for yourself. Amongst the many exhibitors and amongst the many participants has been an organisation called Simodisa. It's been around for the last 3 years and it's all about startups. We're also going to catch up with Jabu Stone. He's been around a little longer than 3 years. He's launched 25 years ago a range of highly successful hair care products. He's had his fair share of ups and downs in the world of entrepreneurship. Simodisa, what is that? Matsi Modise is the managing director of Simodisa. What is Simodisa?
Simodisa is an industry association that is here to catalyze, amplify and advocate for an enabling environment in South Africa.
You've got to take this board away. You've got to, I know we all love Simodisa, we all love entrepreneurs, we all love all of that sort of stuff. Okay, let's take that and throw it at the producers. Okay, so in English,
yes,
what is it that you're trying to achieve?
We just want to create an enabling environment for small businesses and entrepreneurs to thrive.
But who funds you? Why are you doing
Well,
this?
we're supported by First National Bank, the South African Venture Capital Association, Department of Science and Technology. So private sector and the public sector have really come and said, guys, we need a platform where we can harness entrepreneurship, where we can develop small businesses, where we can impart our resources and our knowledge. So Simodisa is a function of how do you work with the ecosystem, the government, the private sector, public sector, accelerators, incubators, so that many more people can be like Jabu Stone, the ultimate entrepreneur. It's a journey, it takes long, but we want to make sure that we're there and part of the journey.
Jabu Stone, you've been telling your story today about the headaches, the agony, the rejection, the pain, the suffering, that had you had your hand held, may have got you to where you are today 10 years earlier, maybe. I mean, do these guys make a difference in the world of running small businesses and startups?
Yeah, they do. That is why I was saying now, if those people, they do have an assistant, as an entrepreneur, all it does, but your idea must always be there. You mustn't wait for that funding to come. Once the assistant comes, it's just there to accelerate your idea. Because in most cases, you find people, they invest in entrepreneurs. And those entrepreneurs, in most, that money goes to wrong side there where they take it financially, they buy their own cars, they do this. It's very important when you fund that, make sure that you are there to monitor that money is being directed into correct investment, whereby the stock and everything.
I mean, 25 years ago you started out, you went
Right.
from salon to salon giving
Yes.
coaching lessons.
Yes.
One of your favorite stories has got to be the day you went to a group of people in a salon, 10 people, and you said to them, right, I'm Jabu Stone, and they went, who? Jabu Stone, you
Yes.
repeated it 3
Yes.
times.
Yes.
And then you gave a coaching masterclass of
Right.
your own.
Yes.
That didn't really work out that well for you, did it?
Didn't work. Actually, 9 of them walked out while I was busy talking to them. And by the time I realized, they said nothing, they just walked out. And the one was left, the 10th one, I asked her, why are you here? She said, sorry, but I don't want to leave you alone. And then I realized that this is not working. Then that was a pure rejection. But that was their opinion. Hence, it was not my reality. My reality was, I would love to see people having locks. Now, 25 years later, every 3rd or 4th person you meet has got locks in the market.
And that's interesting because, I mean, 25 years ago, if you just give us a profile view, look at these lovely locks, and those are cultivated with love and care.
Thank you.
25 years ago, you looked like a bit of a tsotsi, quite frankly.
Exactly. They never trusted me. That is why when I was in Ghana, there's people, those entrepreneurs, the distributors looked at me when I went to present a product in Ghana when we were sent by the DTI, the outward mission. I sat there and the guys looked at me, what are you saying, young man? I said, no, the product for dreadlocks. I said, listen here, don't waste our time. And they concentrated on people who were doing relaxers and other things. That's why after that, 9 years down the line, I went back to Ghana. Trust me, I was signing autographs on my way to the airport.
But was it because you had changed your approach, or was it that the Ghanaian society had changed?
What happened was both of them. The society was moving towards not natural, and at the same time, I went back when I was rejected to acquire more knowledge, to understand more about this industry, more about this hairstyle, more about the product. What else can I bring that will be appealing to the market? When I went back there, I realized that I was at the right time now, at the right place, whereby all of them, they said, can we have an interview with you? Can we do this? Can we do that? The radios, it was a buzz in the whole Kenya for 3 days I was there. So I realized that it was the right time by then.
Matsi, I mean, he could have learned these lessons in a year or 2. Instead, he had to learn from the school of hard knocks. There's an argument to be made that says actually the greatest entrepreneurs are people who learn the way Jabu has learned. But we've got a bit of a time problem in South Africa. We can't wait 25 years for the next Jabu Stone to come to the fore, can we?
No, that's correct. I think it is easier to actually benefit from being an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is somebody who's very resilient. You know, you just go into
clearly,
the market.
look at him in the story.
He's been around for more than 25 years. So you have to be resilient, and it's a function of Simodisa is trying to make the journey easier, because a lot of the people that are part of our association are people that have traveled the journey and saying, how can we help entrepreneurs that are coming so that we can reduce that time from 25 years to being, you know, smaller than, you know, something that it's just, there's more impact in this
How do you choose who to help? Because there is a sea of need, a sea of want, a sea of individuals who say, I've got a great idea. It may be rubbish, but you may see a kernel of potential in the individual. How do you choose who to back?
Entrepreneurship is a journey. You know, whether you're a seed in somebody, you've just an idea in somebody in your head, or you are wanting to scale up and you've scaled globally. So Simodisa essentially helps from start to end, because the theme of today is Startup Scale Up Summit at LeaderEX. So we're dealing with issues of starting up and then scaling up globally. So we don't choose. We help those people that want to be helped. You know, we believe that South Africa is a country that has wonderful entrepreneurs. They've got so much potential. It's just waiting to be unleashed.
Okay, so you'll help everybody who comes through your door. Who do you let go? Because not everybody can be helped.
No, that's so true.
I mean, yes. One's got to be honest about that.
Well, as an entrepreneur, and you know, Jabu can attest, is you have to have staying power. You know, you have to be resilient. You have to have those scars. And people can only assist you to a certain point. We can only guide you to a certain, you know, institution, certain market, certain mentor. But at the end of the day, it's about your own personal resilience as an entrepreneur. If you fail, you pick yourself up. We'll be happy to help you across the journey.
I mean, you must do mentorship and stuff, Jabu. You must have lots of people coming up to you, you're Jabu Stone. Yes. I want to start a salon. I want to do this. I want to do whatever the case might be. Help. And at some point, you've got to run your business. How do you do that, to divide that responsibility, that social responsibility that you might
There's a lot of them that are coming to me, you know, to ask, you know, to mentor them. Because once I mentor them, I make their journey much shorter, as Matsi has said. You know, so try and show them those challenges, how I manage to solve those challenges. So that is why now I go almost every second week. I meet young people, like for example on Saturday, there's something they call it T, Township Enterprise Alliance. So I'll be talking to those young people in Tembisa. You know, so I do all those things. I go around and reach out to them and say, don't wait, don't sit there, I'm here, I can assist you. Even in manufacturing, I always say to you, come up with anything, because we need to create that radical economic transformation through manufacturing. Because if you manufacture, you know that you'll exhaust the market in South Africa and go to the neighboring countries. So that is what I'm promoting and motivating there. Even if they come and compete with me, you know, they come and do the products for now. I said, no, come, I will assist you, because all I do, I just go to another country and then I take the first entry advantage. Yeah.
The one thing that has struck me about this gathering here, Matsi, is the hunger and the desire for knowledge, the desperate appeal of people who've got bright ideas or simply looking for a little element of hope. And it's really important that people are given that sense of hope, because it's not going to come from anywhere else, is it?
Yeah. No, I mean, the whole idea is bringing the platforms to the people that want these platforms. One of the initiatives we're doing later on is a Startup Thursday, whereby we match funders with founders. We say, as Simodisa, we don't do funding, but we'll give you a platform where you can engage funders from all spheres, venture capitalists, angel investors, development funding institutions. They are there. You just need to go and engage them, and hopefully you'll get funding if you're funding ready. So there's also a level of educating people that funding is at a certain stage. It's necessary, you need to have access to it, but at a certain stage. Because not a lot of people are actually going to fund ideas. We all have ideas, we dream about ideas, but your ability to commercialize your idea, that's fundable. That's something we could look into.
Government keeps talking about entrepreneurship, it's really important, and then puts barriers in people's way. It's red tape. We know about the stories are legion about the difficulties of doing business in South Africa. You've survived 2.5, 3 decades of doing business in this country. Is it really as hard as some people make out?
It's not that hard, I must be honest, because if you don't put your focus on the failure, that is why once you fail, you must learn from that, but you must move on. So you realize that, I always say that you can only go as far as your eye can see. When you're there, you see further. So that is why you must keep moving. So the failure comes there, move on. So you'll realize that by the time you reach, and then you realize that that trip is very short. You must keep moving, you mustn't stop.
One of the themes of today has been fail quickly, fail fast and get out. Make those mistakes early, and to try and limit the impact that it has, the negative impact. Talking about government and government involvement, we talk about government not being interested in the world of entrepreneurship, but the Department of Science and Technology, slightly odd partner to have. Why did you not go with the Department of Science, of Small Business, for example?
Well, we are in partnership with the Department of Science and Technology, but we're in constant engagement with the Department of Small Business Development. So,
are they making an impact?
Not yet. I think they're well on their way, but it's a function of we have an ecosystem that's alive, and how do we help the government be more entrepreneurial? How do we educate them? How do we integrate them? How do we bring them to the entrepreneurs on the ground? Because there's always this top-down approach. Now it's a function of how do we promote a bottom-up approach? But the government is there. I believe that they have a vested interest in creating jobs and sustainable jobs in South Africa, but it's not for them alone to do it. We are an ecosystem and we all need to function and assist them.
I mean, to quote Clem Santa, we once said Jacob Zuma was talking about we need 5 million entrepreneurs in however many years. And Clem Santa was going, we've got to think about this differently. We've got to say we need 1 million enterprises in 5 years, and that solves the jobs problem.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like you're making a dent?
I feel that Simodisa is trying to move the needle by convening the ecosystem so that we're able to measure what impact are we creating. We're able to self-assess ourselves and say, as an ecosystem, why are we have all these resources, but why are we not moving the needle? Why are people still unemployed? Why is South Africa one of the highest unemployment rates on the continent with all these entrepreneurs, all the infrastructure, the banks and everything that works? So it's a function of we need to start measuring the impact. At some point, that 25% of unemployment has to come down. And we need to get more people to create enterprises, and we need to support them.
Are you coming across great youngsters, Jabu Stone? Are you coming across great people?
Yes, I do meet those youngsters. They come to me and approach. I can see the hunger out there. So that is why I said you see a lot of young people who want to go into business. But the problem is that vision. That's why they need to be mentored. And the issue of funding, what I realize, they always concentrate more on funding. Jabu, can you fund us? Can you do this? I said, no, forget funding. What is your idea? Where do you want to go? And then the funding will follow you.
And who's your market? Who are you selling to? Who's buying?
Who's buying?
We'll carry on this conversation because they just warmed me up. Matsi Modise is the Managing Director of the Startup Scale-Up Summit here at Simodisa at the LeaderEX Summit. And of course, then we've also got Jabu Stone, the founder, and 25 years on, still going strong, of Jabu Stone Hair Products. He's got a mane behind that head. Lots of inspiring stories being told at the LeaderEX Summit. It really is been a fabulous event, and it's got to get bigger and better because we do need more people starting up businesses and growing them to the next level in South Africa. Thank you for watching. There'll be more Money Makers next time here on CNBC Africa. Till then, bye-bye.